This calls us against continuing to learn how to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as well. We stand in solidarity with that. Fans, here are tonight's officials. Tonight's referees, Matthew Corbin. The assistant referees are Stephen McGonigal and Benjamin Davis. The fourth official tonight is Daniel Garcia. Fans, here is the starting lineup for Thursday in San Antonio FC. In goal number 1, George Paul. In defender number 3, Mitchell goal, number 1, Alex.
Número 4, defensor y capitán, Sam.
A defender, number 5, Josh.
Número 16, defensor, Will.
A defender, number 22, Kaylin.
Número 7, mediocampista, Sergio.
A midfielder, number 8, Nikki.
Número 33, mediocampista, Harry.
A midfielder, number 43, Justin.
Número 10, delantero, Amando.
It's a Western Conference showdown here in Week 23 of USL Championship action as defending league champions San Antonio FC visit the 505 to take on New Mexico United in round 2 between these clubs this season. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tyler Ortega, joined on the call tonight by Coach Heather Dyke. And Coach, this one is going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait for this one. It's two teams that are playing for something important, and I think anytime you have that, you see some passion in the way they play.
It's going to be fireworks here tonight. Let's jump right into it here as we have a look at our players to watch, presented by United in Health. Starting off first here, or actually, excuse me, we're going to have a look at the previous matchup for the Black and Yellow where they were on the road in Hartford, Heather. And this was the opening goal scored by Nicky Hernandez, but the Black and Yellow had their work cut out for them.
It's one of those games where statistically it's hard to get a read for the game, and you have possession, you kind of dominate shots on goal, but the speed up top by Hartford was a problem for New Mexico United all night, and it ultimately ended up winning the game for them.
It was, and here we see one of 2 disallowed goals for Antoine Openo as he was giving the back line of the Black and Yellow fits all night long. That was the second disallowed goal, but eventually Athletic would not only find the equalizer, as we're going to see here, with an absolute thunderbolt into the back of the net from Beverly Makangila.
It was a shot that it's difficult to block. I think if you scripted that and you gave it back to New Mexico United, I'm not sure they can get a touch on that one. It was just something you tip your hat to.
And the frustration visible there from the Greek goalkeeper Alex Tambakis. And then just 3 minutes later, Openo finally gets his goal that puts Athletic up 2-1, and that was essentially the nail in the coffin.
Explosive speed is difficult to deal with, and I think you saw that all night long. That you feel like you're in a good position to defend, but when somebody has that extra gear, it's just really difficult to stop.
Now we'll look at our players to watch here, presented by United in Health. Starting off first with San Antonio, and we're going to be having an eye on the Golden Boot leader, Tani Oluwaseyi.
He is an absolutely special player. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised he's still in this league. I think he has the talent and the ability to play at a higher level, and he's going to be fun to watch tonight.
14 goals in 13 appearances for Oluwaseyi coming into this one. On the other side, for New Mexico, we're going to keep an eye on, well, we just saw him scoring last week. Nicky Hernandez, the former San Antonio FC man, lifted the championship with them last season.
He plays a little bit of flair, and I think since he's joined New Mexico United, he's brought something a little bit different and kind of fun to see. And I think when you add that to playing against a team that you just left, then you add a little bit of grit to it, and that part of it is really exciting.
We're going to go ahead and step aside for just a moment. When we come back, we'll have lineups and kickoff.
So much has changed in the 5 years since New Mexico United took the pitch for the first time in 2019. But since then, one constant has been the incredible support and financial guidance of REDW. Our partnership has grown stronger and closer together as the club continues to excite, inspire, and help connect the people of New Mexico. REDW will be with us every step of the way. Everything we do on the pitch and in the community is powered by the strategic thinking and expertise of the advisors at REDW. With an eye on longevity, shared values, and purpose, United and REDW will continue to team up and make meaningful contributions for all New Mexicans. Somos Unidos.
I landed my first trick at age 11. It's always been a family thing. Just the three of us, out skating the city. Albuquerque has heart. It lifted me up, all the way to my dream of skating in the Olympics.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Kickoff just moments away here at the Lab. Tonight's match brought to you by CNM, New Mexico's premier community college. Coach, let's jump right into our starting 11s here tonight. Brought to you by Bud Light. Starting off first with the home side for New Mexico United, we see two changes from the side that took the field last weekend. Sam Hamilton back from suspension, and Jacobo Reyes making his first USL Championship start here tonight.
Sam Hamilton at defender has been special for me. I mean, I think if you've seen him a lot in the midfield, and he seemed a little bit tentative there, and all of a sudden he's in the back four and he's decisive, and I think he's been outstanding, so I'm happy to see him back in the lineup.
This is how Alan Marcina is trotting out his side. 3 changes from the side that defeated Phoenix Rising last weekend as well. We see Tulu, Ja'Cory Hayes, and Santiago Patino, the fresh face. Well, not necessarily a fresh face, but back in San Antonio. Back in the starting 11 for SAFC tonight, and we are underway. This is match number 2 between these two clubs this season, as immediately Josh Suggs looking to find Amando Moreno going down the left wing. And so these two teams, no strangers to each other. Last time these two teams saw each other was at the end of May 27th. It was SAFC victorious 2-1 over New Mexico. Zuhir and Garcia on the score sheet that night for the visitors. It was Kyle Colonna scoring his first goal for New Mexico United. And that's how it ended at Toyota Field. Zuhir goes back. Maloney goes down. It looks like he was going to get a call there from the officials. Josh Suggs was also in on the action there.
Tough to see from here. It looked like Suggs kind of slipped, and in his recovery maybe had some contact.
You know, and unfortunately for Maloney, the pre-match chant of the match that they went through with the crowd was this Pobrecito chant. So they're already warmed up, and they're letting Maloney hear it down there. As we'll have another look here at this TLC replay, and yeah, you can see, it looked like he did catch some contact there with Josh Suggs. So that brings us to our first Bank of America corner kick here this evening. With over 4,600 locations, convenient banking is just around the corner. This ball goes in, back post, headed away by Hamilton, and struck back. It's an absolute thunderbolt to open the scoring. It's Zuhir scoring his second goal against New Mexico this season, and what a start for San Antonio FC.
That's just an absolute dream start. First touch, full volley, side netting. There's not much you can do about that other than just cheer the guy on. What a strike.
And that's a goal of the week nominee right off the bat, just 2 minutes into this one. And Heather, this is a team that is the highest scoring team in the USL Championship. They score a lot because they shoot a lot. They come in taking the most shots, 336, make that 337 now.
You saw it on the corner, though. I mean, you see committed runs. You see a player open on top of the box because there's so many numbers in the box that New Mexico United has to deal with. And that ball pops out, and he made no mistake. So what a shot. But, hopefully it kind of awakes the sleeping beast within New Mexico United, and they kind of find a fire. Like, they need to go fight back now. You can't sit in and wait.
Second-minute goal for Rita Zuhir as we have another look on this TLC replay. And you said it, just catches it cleanly, upper 90. Absolutely nothing that anyone in black and yellow was going to do about that one. Wow.
Kind of strike you dream of. Ball sets to you, first time. That's a special finish. Congratulations to him.
An incredible goal there for Rita Zuhir. It was actually the 5th on the season for the Canadian, and San Antonio want more. Olawashe has that one taken off his feet by Sam Hamilton. And for New Mexico, when you look at this season, Coach, they've conceded the opening goal at home 3 times this season. Just once have they been able to come back and get a point from that.
Yeah, and I think, again, like, you score in the second minute on a goal that there's not much you can do anything about. Like, it's just a great goal. And so now how do you respond? And I think that's going to be the test for New Mexico United. They have been tested all season, but they've been in these situations. So what lessons have you learned, and how are you going to implement those now? And I think these guys have some fight in them, so I'm hopeful to see that now.
You see Nikki Hernandez coming out to block the shot, but again, goes into the box. That one cut out by Kaylin Ryden. And this, an early attack here on the New Mexico United goal.
Very, very attacking-minded shape, numbers forward, pushing players forward, running backs forward. I mean, you can tell that the notes from the San Antonio coaches to get forward and make New Mexico United defend.
This is Eric Quill, first half of our PNM Coaches Spotlight. Just over 2 months into his tenure here at the helm of New Mexico United. Already making some changes. We see some additions that he's made to this squad. Nikki Hernandez, Jacobo Reyes being 2 of them.
It's personnel changes, but it's also tactical changes. Like, you see some differences in the way New Mexico United is playing, and any coach that comes in, they're going to have an idea of how they want to play, and I think they're working through that. Like, what are the goals for Coach Quill? What are the things they're expected to do? Where is the space? How do you occupy it? And they're finding those things slowly but surely.
Hernandez plays this forward for Reyes. Reyes, no foul called. It's going to be a throw in here for New Mexico. That's going to give us time for this 5:29 game update, brought to you by the Education Plan, New Mexico state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. Ball goes into the box. New Mexico looking for an answer here in the 6th minute. Bank of America corner kick coming up here for the black and yellow. It's going to be Justin Portillo making his way over. Reyes standing short. Portillo plays the outswinger. Headed away by Garcia. Suggs now. To Portillo. Reyes. Jacobo Reyes squanders possession. New Mexico able to get it back. Marcina is asking if that one went over the sideline there. Here's Hernandez. Moreno flicks it on, and it's going to be dealt with here by Fabian Garcia.
You can tell right away that New Mexico United is responding. They're not going to back down. They're going to push numbers forward. They know how important this game is, and I think that leads to an exciting game because both teams are ready to play. No fear at this point.
Last time these two teams played here at the Lab, last April 23rd of 2022, it was a 1-0 win for San Antonio. Lone goal that day scored by Justin Dillon in the 67th minute. Dillon also on the score sheet last weekend. So he scored the first of 2 for San Antonio late. That led that comeback against Phoenix Rising. Second half of our P&M Coaches Spotlight is Alan Marcina, title winner last season with SAFC.
You know, sometimes you win a title and you kind of feel somebody take their foot off the gas, and it seems the opposite with San Antonio. Like they seem like they're playing for something bigger. They seem to want more. I think that's credit to the coach. He's not let up at all.
Well, and it wasn't just the title run that they had last year. It was the entirety of the regular season. They went 24-5-5. They finished the regular season with 77 points. They were 17 points clear of second place.
It's easy when that happens to kind of feel content and to become a little bit complacent, and you're just not seeing that.
Got some time now to have a look at our Garcia Automotive keys to the game here for New Mexico. And you can scratch that first one right off the list, get the first big chance as San Antonio really capitalized 2 minutes in, avoid the mental lapse, and lock down Olawashayi. Here's Zuhir. Maloney. This is Tainter. The captain, Mitchell Tainter. Jome now working his way through some United defense.
I think you start to see these teams get on a roll and they start to feel confident, and you can feel that tonight. You can feel San Antonio's coming in here with a swagger, and that they should. They've earned it. But you feel it in the way they play. You feel it in the way individuals are playing. It's collective and individual, and New Mexico United's going to have to match that. They don't seem to be backing down at all right now.
It's our Ben Sherman Law injury report. Christian Nava, Chris Wehan, the two names listed for New Mexico. And some good news for New Mexico fans is that hopefully Chris Wehan should be nearing a return.
We've seen him training, and I think if you ask New Mexico United fans who followed since the start of all this, is who's been special, and it's Wehan. I mean, he's the heart of every moment for this club, and I think getting him back on the field is hopefully going to really ignite a spark, and I hope to see that sooner than later. I know Chris is putting a ton of time and energy into his return.
Chris Wehan, the club's all-time leader in goals and assists. 36 goals, 17 assists in black and yellow for Chris Wehan. Fractured his kneecap earlier this season, and he's been out for, I don't know, it's been quite a while, a couple months at least, I'd say.
Too long. Yeah, too long for the club. They're missing that kind of special creative flair. And, you know, Christian Nava brings that too. It's two players that like to sit in the pocket and run at people and be a little bit creative. And I think they miss that a little bit. So hopefully those guys are both back soon. I know Nava's recovering from an ACL, which takes a little bit longer, but they're missed.
Ball headed away there by Rivas. Fernandez goes in with a heavy challenge. It's going to be a throw in here for New Mexico. Josh Suggs making his 104th USL Championship appearance here tonight for New Mexico United. One of two players over the century mark, Daniel Bruce being the other. Englishman on the bench this evening with 108 USL Championship appearances in black and yellow.
Such a testament to both those guys. These are long seasons, and to avoid injury and be consistent, and I think you see that in both of them. They're adored by their fans. They're wonderful people. The team loves them. It's not unusual. You know, who you are is more important than what you do, and those guys, they're the epitome of it to me.
You know, and I think what stands out is what they do in the community, right? And it seems like it's almost every single week you see Daniel Bruce going out and doing something, right? Whether he's visiting kids in a hospital or whether he's going to schools, whatever the case is, always something. I know on Father's Day, actually, there was a post that a local man was grocery shopping. The battery in his truck died. And who else comes up to jumpstart his truck but Josh Suggs? Yeah. And, of course, he recognized him and had a great conversation. But I think that, as you were saying, it just speaks to who they are as people.
Yeah, I mean, I think longevity is not just ability, it's character. And I think those two, like, you think about, they get it. It's not about them. They think about us. They think about community. They think about their impact. They think about their legacy. And that's what comes with leadership and experience. And, you know, to give that to this community consistently, there's not two guys that do it more than Bruce and Suggs. They're just incredible.
Bruce Suggs, 2 of 4 players that have been with the club since its inception. The other 2, Austin Yearwood and Sam Hamilton. Hamilton, the captain. Austin Yearwood actually celebrating his 29th birthday here this evening. So big happy birthday going out to Austin Yearwood. He's in the 18 tonight. So we'll see if he gets a birthday appearance later on this evening. And as we were mentioning earlier, fond memories of playing against San Antonio here at the lab for Austin Yearwood. He scored 1 goal in his professional career. It was here against San Antonio in 2021, and it just happened to win the goal of the year.
They seem to be exchanging them, trading them back and forth, because I think that one tonight we're going to see quite a few highlights of.
Ritas are here with an absolute thunderbolt past Tambakis. Hernandez looking to flick this one on to Reyes. It's going to go back to Jordan Farr. You know, and speaking of incredible goals, not sure if you saw the goal scored by Nico Brett, former New Mexico United striker up in Colorado Springs last weekend, I believe it was. A bicycle kick from the top of the 18-yard box. I don't even have words.
There's not words. There's not words. There's things you don't even try at practice because they seem too far-fetched. And to put one of those in a game was just, man, what a fun thing to watch.
And speaking of
bikes,
there was a bicycle kick. Getting on his bike was Santiago Patino, the recent re-addition here, 2022 title winner for SAFC. He must have heard us talking. We get another look here at this TLC replay, and it was wide, but great attempt. And Zuhir on a brace sends this one over the crossbar.
This part to me, I mean, this is the best part of the game. Like, you can script things and you give these pregame reports and you talk about what you think both teams are going to do and tactically how you're going to adjust. But when you get out here, you start to see it, and there's some clear trends starting to show in the game. And I mean, San Antonio is pressing high. They're challenging New Mexico United to bypass it. And if they can do that with incision, they're going to have chances. So it's going to be a fun game to watch as both teams adjust to you know, their pregame report.
Seymour Just to play that out to stop a corner. Again, there's just been a few moments here through these first 18 minutes where you just look a little discombobulated.
Yeah, it's a test, and San Antonio is athletic. I mean, clearly it's obvious just in the first couple minutes here to see why they're doing so well. But there are opportunities, and the key now is for New Mexico United to take a deep breath and settle in and find them, and not just give balls away. But they're very, very narrow, San Antonio. They have no width in their attack and not a whole lot of width in their defense. And if New Mexico United can slow down and be clinical about that, there's going to be chances to exploit it.
Our officials this evening, Matthew Corrigan running the action in the center. Our fourth official, Mario Garcia, AR's Stephen McGonigal, and Benjamin Davis. So here, looking to poke this one forward for Patino, but Tambakis comes out to grab it. Alex Tambakis making his 83rd appearance for New Mexico United here this evening. And despite conceding an early goal, we've got a true incredible matchup of two great goalkeepers here tonight in Jordan Farr and Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, you love seeing both of those guys. They're leaders on the field, and they're not just goalkeepers. They start the attack. They're part of everything that they do. They have a presence to them, and that's what a goalkeeper should be. You want them to be kind of the heart of your team. I think both those guys have been for their clubs this year.
That shot from Patino rolls right into the arms of Alex Tambakis.
San Antonio is challenging right now. I mean, they're kind of pressing with the group and defending with the group, and they're challenging New Mexico United to play direct early, but they're going to have to combine. They have to find that little pocket space and see if they can't keep the ball.
Looking for the through ball, and it's Suggs poking that one away. That was Hernandez looking to pull some strings, as he was really the main initiator for SAFC last weekend against Phoenix Rising. Picked up 2 assists on the 2 goals scored by San Antonio. We're going to see an early yellow card issued over towards the New Mexico United technical area. I believe that was issued to Eric Quill. Hernandez now plays this one in, back post, punched away by Tambakis. There'll be a throw in here for San Antonio. This Tainter going over to take this corner.
Saw New Mexico United kind of set up to take that as a corner kick. You can tell they knew they had a long throw and they're ready for it. But it's such a weapon.
Washe's first touch goes awry and it's cleared out. This is Tainter. The USL Championship Team of the Week in Week 2. Also the club's Defender of the Year last year. First team All-League. Picked up 9 Team of the Week honors. Ball floated up over everyone, and this will be a throw in here for New Mexico.
And you see right now San Antonio has kind of inverted their wing backs. And so it really is almost a 3-3. Like it's 3 center backs and 3 sixes, and they're just screening entry in New Mexico United's front 3. And that's where they're going to have to find something different. They're going to have to find a way to keep possession up high, find players underneath, and then exploit the wide space. But so far it's just been direct. And I think that'll be the adjustment that hopefully can, open up a few pockets going the other way for New Mexico United.
Hamilton heads that one away. Bouncing around. Ultimately sent away by Swartz. New Mexico now can counter. Here's Reyes. Nicky Hernandez To see more now in space. And San Antonio, they're not a club that's known for dominating the ball. They come in averaging about 45% possession throughout their matches this season. And so that tells you how efficient they are offensively going forward. It's Moreno, miscommunication there. Got a couple of players down. Justin Portillo and Ja'Cory Hayes.
Yeah, I think the play before that, though, exemplifies what New Mexico United is trying to do. Can you win a ball and get forward early? Can you prevent San Antonio from getting into defensive shape and taking away the central channel of the field? And if they do that, there'll be opportunity. But the final third, you're going to have to take a deep breath and find someone that's more comfortable keeping the ball and kind of finding that final pass. It's there, but the pressure's coming so quickly, you do have to take a deep breath and kind of make sure that you can play the final ball.
TLC replay here, and yeah, that's exactly what happened as Portillo rolled over Ja'Cory Hayes. Hayes just getting some medical attention, sitting up, so hopefully he'll be all right. So while we've got a second, I'd like to tell you about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. And fans, don't miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. So, looks like Hayes is all good. He'll be sent off for just a moment. The trainer came on. He's got to leave the field, and then he'll be allowed to come back on. And so through all of that, Ja'Cory Hayes also receives a yellow card. As we've been notified over the PA system. So that yellow card brought to you by the guys over at Ferguson Law Firm. So Ja'Cory Hayes and Eric Quill, both in the officials' book so far here this evening. "26 minutes gone by here at the lap. Here's the goal scorer, Rita Zuhir. Finds Hernandez. Now Joan. Looking for Jome on the through ball. And you saw a lot of that against Phoenix for San Antonio. They ran a lot of their offense through Jome on that left side.
It's a lot of short passing in a very narrow area, which makes it difficult to defend because your numbers up around the ball, and it's hard. And if you play that in a 1- and 2-touch rhythm, it kind of makes it difficult for the opposition to get any kind of pressure. The key for United is going to be they have to find their width in the attack. Because if you're going to defend centrally and defend narrow, how quick can you open up in that transition moment? And I think right now that's where San Antonio's had the better of the game.
There's Maloney. Maloney, no, says the official. See the San Antonio players. Can't believe that wasn't a foul. But, you know, going back to what you were just saying there, Coach, in terms of New Mexico widening their attack, you typically see Santi Moar sitting up on that left flank. He's not in the 11 here tonight. He is on the bench. So there's perhaps an option if things don't change here in this first half. But you were saying it, you really see Reyes, who just picks up the foul there, Moreno and Nicky Hernandez all making runs, the same run essentially down the central channel.
Yeah, and again, it's just kind of a battle of wills. Like, you're going to have to defend the opposition based on the way that they want to attack. But if you're going to exploit their weaknesses, you have to have counter movement. And I think right now, if you watch San Antonio, it's a different kind of attack. Typically, when you talk about attacking the ball, you want to have space and width and height and try and get as big as you can. And they don't. They occupy 2 channels and they try and get as many numbers as they can around the ball. But if you want to counter that, you have to get bigger quicker, and that's going to be the key. Can they find 1 or 2 passes that allows them the time to get bigger in the attack and then connect that way? Right now, it's too direct. They don't have enough passes to even open up the space.
Yes, auto free kick coming up here for San Antonio. Hernandez and Zuhir. Looks like Zuhir is the one that's placing this. Already seen what he can do from distance.
One player for San Antonio lining up offside, just trying to unbalance the opponent, and then we see who he comes back in now.
Will be Zuhir sending this one in, and Zuhir has a second. Rita Zuhir, are you serious? San Antonio up 2-0 inside 30 minutes here at the Lab.
You hear the boos from the crowd because he's celebrating right in front of him, but if I hit that shot, I probably would too. I mean, that is 2 in a row that are just world class.
29th minute free kick goal for Rita Zuhir. His 3rd goal against New Mexico United this season. He scored the opener against the Black and Yellow in the match that was played at Toyota Field earlier this season. And he's got 2 here tonight. And this is another look at this second. And again, top bins.
It's an area of the field where, as the opposition, you're thinking a cross is coming. You're thinking you're going to have to deal with the cross. And for him to read that is just unreal, because for Timbacas, he has to cover the far post. Excellent finish. Great set piece.
And it's a 2-0 deficit here for New Mexico. They could really go for pulling one back here before the break.
They need to, and they're capable of it. You don't see anybody with their head down right now. You don't see anybody kind of worrying about it, and that has to be the attitude. Like, if somebody strikes, strike back. What are you going to do about it? And it might be where you start to take some chances, and you leave some players wide, and you try to counterattack quickly. And at this point, you're going to have to take those chances and not worry so much about defending.
Portillo playing this one in, and New Mexico almost pulling one back. It was Harry Swartz at the near post there, looking to head that one in. Clean sheet still intact for Jordan Farr as that one just goes wide. And as we enter the 32nd minute, it is a Rita Zuhir masterclass here at the Lab so far. So we get another look on this TLC replay, and to many of the fans here at the Lab, it looked like it went in, but just hitting the outside netting. Zuhir on a hat trick. And the thing for New Mexico is they've done well to contain Tani Oluwaseyi.
Yeah, you think of run of play. The game's been pretty even. I mean, I definitely think San Antonio is pushing numbers forward, and they're taking a few more chances, but in the run of play, the game's not been dominated. But it's 2 set pieces and 2 special set pieces, and San Antonio has a 2-goal lead. But even here, San Antonio is content to go 4v4 at the back line with New Mexico United. At some point, you have to find ways to make them pay for that.
Reyes lays this one off for Swartz. New Mexico could be onto something. Moreno trying to chase this one down, and it's just overhit.
But that's a look. Can you get forward? Can you get numbers underneath? Can you run at them 1v1? And if you do that, and then you're just a little bit more precise with your pass, you have an opportunity there. You're 1v1, 4v4 in the back. How do they exploit that?
Get an idea there of the pass. Swartz was looking to play there for Moreno. See Moreno giving the thumbs up over to Harry Swartz after that. Hernandez flicks this one on. Massive header from Hamilton goes all the way back to Jordan Farr.
You have to start to think about, if you look at the field and you start to talk about channels, vertical channels along the field, every single player on the field is within one half of that vertical channel, which is tiny. So you're either going to have to take advantage of that and hope for the best and get some width, or you're going to have to try to beat them at their own game. And I think that will be the question for Coach Quill at the half, for the team at the half. How do you want to play?
Throw into San Antonio.
And you look at every goal kick right now and you talk about the seam in between the midfielders and the defenders for San Antonio. That space, when you draw it up, should be tight, and they're just willing to let it be big. They're willing to let New Mexico United play big. They're willing to challenge on the first ball. And until they prove they can make them pay for that, they're going to keep doing it.
There's Moreno. It's going to be a throw in here for New Mexico. And on the other side for Alan Marcina, what changes would you make, if any?
Right now, I'd make none. I think what they scripted coming into this game was right. They're willing to be a little bit brazen in the way that they're pressing. They're willing to kind of get numbers forward and play this attacking style of soccer. And you see the players in the field, they're playing with joy. They're finding individual battles, and they're getting forward. And I think right now they have to feel pretty good with their game plan.
Ball played in here. It's going to be a corner kick coming up for New Mexico.
This would be a big one here. Can you get it to 2v1, 2-1? Can you kind of start to challenge a little bit and get a little bit of confidence going into the half? I think New Mexico United needs to be ready here and be hungry.
San Antonio, 4 wins out of their last 5. This ball bouncing around, Moreno! And he sends this one over as there's a lot of appeals for a handball. And they're not going to get it.
No, and you love the corner by Coach Quill there. I mean, that was something they've clearly been working on. Can you draw people off and then slip that ball back in and serve? And that was an outstanding corner. I think Moreno will want that one back.
We get another look here at this TLC replay, able to chest it. And it looked as though it deflected off of something. Hard to see from that angle there as Tulu and Oluwaseyi both lunging in front of Moreno. San Antonio came into this one plus 19 in goal differential. Just tells you the dominating brand of soccer that they play. They're a well-built club from front to back.
They're a well-built club, and it's clear that they believe and they're well-structured in what they want to do. They know exactly where their positioning is. They read off of each other quite well. They hold their shape well even though they're in tight spaces, and it's difficult to defend, especially when you come in with the confidence. I mean, you can do whatever you want on paper, but until you have that belief that your system is the right one, and these guys do. You can see it in the way that they play.
Ball turned over there in the middle of the field. That was Rivas that gave that ball away. And Rivas, that's a name that we have not said at all up until this point.
Yeah, I mean, typically when you think about Sergio and you kind of list his special ability, I mean, it's ability on the ball, it's ability to run at people and kind of a creativity. And tonight he's been in more of a defensive role, and I think that's not necessarily where Sergio would say is his strong suit. But he's been very good defensively, but it'll be fun to see if they can find him getting forward a little bit more.
Yeah, and as you say, that's really his bread and butter, is getting forward. 4 goals, 3 assists this season. Second on the team in both marks. Making his 73rd USL Championship appearance here for New Mexico tonight. For his hometown club, Sergio Rivas, a Cibola High School graduate. There's Moreno. The El Salvadorian international Armando Moreno turning on the Jets. He's got Garcia on his back. Finds Swartz now here on the near side. Cross goes in from Swartz, and it's dealt with by Tainter.
And those are the moments for New Mexico United. You do have this incredible individual play by Moreno, and you see Swartz getting out wide, and you kind of go, hey, that cross has to be better. Like, you have to pick someone out there, and you have to be clinical about it because they haven't had as many chances they'd like to. So the ones you do have, how do you pick out a player? How do you put a name on it? And just don't play a blind ball into the box. And typically Harry's very good at that. So I think if he gets it again, you'll see a better ball from him.
Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. 39th minute. Rita Zuhir striking in the 2nd and 29th minutes here so far this evening. Sees San Antonio on top 2-0. Jacobo Reyes. This looks like something off the training ground as Hernandez plays this one in. Still bouncing and eventually headed back to Jordan Farr.
And again, right now, if you took a snapshot of the field, every single player is within 2 channels of the field. So there's going to have to be a decision for both teams. How do you want to play? And are you willing to be brazen enough to commit to your style? And right now, I think New Mexico United is trying to match San Antonio instead of enforce their style, where they do have some special players out wide. And how do you find them and how do you get the ball to them?
Here's Swartz. You know, and that's just going back up to what you were saying. You rarely see Harry Swartz possessing the ball in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, and again, I mean, at this point, it's 2-0. So I think it'll be interesting to see as you know the team evolves and find a comfort level. And again, the run of play of the game's been okay. Neither team really has this established possession. Neither team has really been dominant. And so you say, okay, how are we going to change that? We're down 2-0. How are we going to create opportunity?
And it's 3 for the visitors. Santiago Patino, welcome back to SAFC. San Antonio on a tear here at the Lab tonight. 3-0, 40 minutes in.
Incredible transition, great early ball, numbers in the box. It's a great finish for San Antonio. They're playing with incredible confidence tonight.
New Mexico in a 3-0 hole. 40 minutes in here to defending champs San Antonio FC. And it's an absolute clinic being put on here by the visitors tonight. We could see as that attack was forming down here in front of us, Heather, as Jome picked his head up, saw his 2 runners at the back post, and as you said, pick someone out.
Yeah, again, it's a difference between hitting a blind ball and hoping that someone gets to it, or saying, I'm going to put this ball where the player that's finishing can hit first time, and that's what a quality cross is. And I think when you think about the teams in the world, men or women, the best crossers of the ball are passing the ball to someone that can finish instead of just hitting a ball into the box and hoping blindly. And that was an outstanding ball and a really quality finish. Great numbers in the box, good commitment to get forward.
Yeah, I think that's one of those where you can say, I don't know, it was better, the service or the finish in that case, is that ball was served on a platter.
Yeah, and
for Patino.
So to me, that's San Antonio style. Like, can you play narrow? Can you win balls early? Can you get forward early? And to your point, they don't want to dominate possession. They want to get forward as quick as they can and find ways to score. And that was it.
3-0 in favor of the defending champions, and Olawashe wants another. We saw him wreak havoc against Phoenix Rising with runs just like that. In fact, one that ended up being the game winner in second half stoppage time. And as you were saying, just the athleticism possessed by Tani Olawashe, I think his days in USL Championship might be numbered.
Yeah, if I'm an MLS team, I'm watching. If I'm, in any league right now, I'm watching. I mean, he is special. And anytime you're in any league and somebody has these numbers that start to stand out, you have to start to think, like, what is his value? And his value is incredible. But it's also work rate. Like, he is not just an attacking player that doesn't defend. I mean, he plays both sides of the ball at a very high level. He's fun to watch.
It's the reigning USL Championship Player of the Month, the 23-year-olds. Early season arrival in April on loan from Minnesota United. I don't think it's long until he's back at the Allianz playing for the Loons. Foul called against Moreno. Tainter taking his time here is San Antonio very content to head to the break here with a 3-0 lead.
You're not going to see them in any hurry to do anything quickly tonight. But I will say, I mean, they seem to have a fire to them. It's easy to let you kind of back off a little bit, and you just haven't seen it. They're up 3-0. They're still pressing. They still have numbers forward. They're still taking chances. They have a mentality that they're going to win games. They're going to win by a lot.
Goal kick here for Tambakis. Rolls all the way back to Jordan Farr.
Yeah, and you have to think, if you're Tambakis right now, you look up and you see a 3v3 up top, and you see this gap, so you're trying to play direct and you're trying to find those players. The difficulty is even if they win the first ball, there's nothing underneath. The gap is empty. And I think that's what's going to be interesting. The seam in between the defenders and the midfielders for San Antonio is, how do you fill that? So you can play the first ball and you do have numbers up there, but then how do you find the second ball and then create from that? Because really any ball that Tambakis plays right now, that player is facing him. And you have to find someone underneath them that can, attack that space moving forward.
So just given how this first half has gone, are there any changes you would make going into the second half?
I mean, I'd make big ones. You have nothing to lose at this point. You have nothing to lose at this point. And I think a belief in your players to say, let's play our style. Who cares what happens? You lose 3-0, you lose 5-0. Like, let's play us and hope that gives you a chance to fight back into the game. They're capable, and the space is there. I think it's more just kind of saying we're going to be relentlessly us.
And just looking at some of the options on the bench for Eric Quill. Milo Garvagnon, Austin Yearwood, Kyle Colonna, Santi Moar, Greg Hurst, Daniel Bruce. So those last three names, Santi Moar, Greg Hurst, Daniel Bruce, all attackers. Moar usually plays out wide. Maybe that's something that they can do to change things up in the second half.
Yeah, and again, you go into these games and you have these game plans and you know that both teams are prepared. And sometimes it just doesn't go the way you want it to go. And now you go, okay, how do we adjust? Where's the belief in ourselves to fight back into this game? How do we kind of dig a little bit and find something deeper? And I know New Mexico United has that in them. Like, you still see them fighting right now, even though they're down 3-0. Nobody's hanging their head. But how do you exploit that wide space? How do you pull San Antonio out of what they're comfortable doing? And I think it just has to be a belief that they can do it.
1 minute of New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion. Is this minute ticking away here right before our eyes? Here's Rivas now. New Mexico looking to pull one back as Portillo sends this one over the bar. And that may be the final action that we see here in this first half.
Better there, though. A little more patience, a little bit more moving off the ball. They're not trying to go direct super early, and that's their game. It's nice to see them settle in and kind of connect a few more passes in the final third there.
And that is the first half whistle from Matthew Corrigan. And it is an absolute clinic being put on here tonight by the defending league champion San Antonio FC on top of New Mexico United here at the break. 3-0. Score presented by First Financial. Coach, your thoughts?
You have to go into halftime right now and say, who are we? I mean, nobody wants to run off the field 3-0. Not coaches, not players. But who are you? It's a gut check. And I think you have to kind of challenge the heart tonight and kind of go, hey, regardless of the score, who's going to fight?
That is the coaching staff figuring things out. That's assistant coach Mac Hemme having a chat with Eric Quill. We're going to step aside. We've got halftime coming up.
Since 1966, BIOS has provided quality appliances, electronics, and mattresses to Albuquerque and New Mexico.
And from day one, we've done everything as a team. Our commitment to our team, our community, and innovation has allowed us to serve Albuquerque and our surrounding areas for more than 50 years. We are proud to partner with New Mexico United.
Because both of us believe in the values of loyalty, service, and togetherness.
Our longevity and growth is because we are united.
Somos unidos.
Flamenco is a language. Every step a verse, every movement a phrase. Born in Spain and expressed here in New Mexico.
Dime que sí, dime que no. Anda, dime primita de mi corazón.
The 2023 summer concert season is here at Sandia Resort and Casino. Join us this summer at Albuquerque's best concert venue for a season to remember. June 23rd, Ludacris. July 20th, Old Dominion. July 28th, Buddy Guy and Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Tickets available now at sandiacasino.com or the box office. The 2023 summer concert season at Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Part desert, part mountain, part river. Albuquerque offers outdoor exhilaration you can't find anywhere else. Spend the perfect day hiking, biking, or even hot air ballooning, all within minutes of a vibrant city. Whether you're exploring hundreds of miles of trails or hundreds of years of history, Albuquerque will take your breath away. Start planning your Albuquerque adventure at visitabq.org.
It's halftime here at the Lab. The score, San Antonio 3, New Mexico 0. Halftime brought to you by Smith's, fresh for everyone. And we've got plenty to get into here. As our halftime score brought to you by First Financial. As let's just go ahead and jump right into things here, Heather, with our look at our standings here coming into this match tonight. San Antonio sitting in the penthouse, second place behind Sac Republic, New Mexico. On the outside looking in when it comes to the playoff picture, they need a result tonight.
They need a result tonight, and they can get one because, you know, you look at 6, 7, 8, all those teams are kind of in the same boat as New Mexico United. Nobody's really on a tear right now. So who can start to get some wins? And, you know, it's been an important game because of that.
And this is going to have major playoff implications going down the line. So moving on, our news and notes from around the league. Really cool stuff is the USL Championship set to welcome back North Carolina FC as they're coming back in 2024, and they'll be joined by the newest expansion, Rhode Island FC. Also, USL Championship debuting The Experience as that features the Steel Army and Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Make sure to check that out on the USL YouTube channel. And New Mexico United at their last home match announcing a lifetime partnership with front of jersey sponsor and local art installation Meow Wolf.
When you talk about New Mexico United, it is Meow Wolf. It's culture, it's art, it's New Mexico, and those two things are special. It's great to see that partnership happening.
Incredible stuff here at the club as we have a look at our upcoming schedule here. The midweek, you see some games. San Antonio actually going to be back at Toyota Field as they're hosting RGV. Then they're back on the weekend hosting Monterey Bay, whereas New Mexico will be traveling out to sunny San Diego. They'll be taking on Loyal at Torero next Saturday. Our scoreboard here from around the league so far. You see New Mexico falling to Hartford, not Sunderland 2-1. Sac Republic getting a clean sheet there against Monterey Bay 1-0. San Antonio, as we mentioned, coming back late in the Valley of the Sun against Phoenix Rising, and Lights beating RGV 2-1 as well. Upcoming schedule here for the Black and Yellow, as we mentioned, heading the road to Torero before they're back for 4 matches in, 10 days? Something like that. It's a Wednesday, Saturday. So if you don't have them yet, jump onto SeatGeek, get your tickets. It is a playoff push starting here tonight for New Mexico. And then the schedule upcoming for San Antonio. as they too will be busy as they finish out their season. They're back home, as we mentioned, against RGV and then Monterey Bay. Then they'll be hosting Pittsburgh Riverhounds in the Eastern Conference before heading out to Rio Grande Valley and then taking on Philip Goodrum and FC Tulsa. Our team of the week here for week 22. You see former New Mexico United player Preston Tabordataka, your eFootball player of the week. Mitchell Tainer also getting the nod here from San Antonio. So plenty going on here at the Lab. San Antonio up 3-0 on New Mexico. We'll step aside. We'll be right back.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Here gives it a go, and here from distance! How about this start for San Antonio FC? 5 minutes in, they're up 2 goals.
RGV, Davila trying to sneak one in and does! Oh my goodness, RGV, a fantastic goal!
Halftime here at the Lab. San Antonio on top of New Mexico. 3-0, your halftime score presented by First Financial Credit Union. And instead of some normal halftime programming, let's have a look at this really cool thing that happened pre-match. This is 15-year-old Kenneth. He came out to take our ceremonial first kick of the match. It's a 15-year-old who was diagnosed with Burkitt's lymphoma, a rare and highly aggressive form of cancer. Great news, Kenneth is now in remission and plays for his high school soccer team. So New Mexico United partnered with the Make-A-Wish Foundation to grant Kenneth's wish of a New Mexico United-themed gaming room here tonight. His favorite player is Daniel Bruce. Ford Parker able to surprise him on the field with some game-worn items. Now, let's have a look at our first half highlights. Brought to you by the guys over at Ferguson Law Firm. And really, Heather, it was Rita Zuhir getting things started early, second minute, with an absolute thunderbolt into the back of the net.
Not much you can do about it. Not much you can do about it. And honestly, even when you watch it back, like, it is unstoppable. What a finish.
You know, and you can see just based off his reaction, as soon as it goes in, he is on cloud 9, as he should be. And then this 27 minutes later, Zuhir again, top right corner, again, Tambakis beaten, again, San Antonio up 2-0.
Yeah, and again, just the sophistication to read that the goalkeeper thinks the cross is coming and be able to bend that near post. I mean, that is a difficult kick.
Zuhir scoring his third goal against New Mexico this season. And then the third goal tonight, added on by Santiago Patino. He was just re-signed to the club less than a week ago and fitting in nicely as he tacks on the third for San Antonio. For New Mexico, you see the grimaces. It was a lot of that in the first half.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing I think you can take away from it, it's the only goal in the run of play. And to their credit, you just see the forward, Patino, sitting on the back side of that shoulder of Kalen Ryden, and you couldn't see him. It's a great ball and excellent finish. But there's chances. Most of the chances came from set pieces both ways. And can New Mexico United now just come out and throw caution to the wind? There's nothing to lose at this point.
Second half coming up here in just a moment. We'll step aside, and we'll be right back.
National Roofing, serving New Mexico for over 45 years. From complete re-roofs to our 24/7 service department, let us help protect and extend the life of your roof today. We work with you every step of the way to solve your roofing needs quickly and professionally. Our team of roofers are always on top of it, bringing high-quality commercial roofing to New Mexico homeowners. National Roofing, local company, national name. Call 505-883-3000 or go to nationalroofing.com to schedule a roof walk today.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story.
8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
This is a story about creativity, education, entrepreneurship, and cookies.
Well, mostly about cookies. Want to try one?
Kristen, where'd you learn to bake?
My grandma was my first teacher. She told me it was okay to be creative and take risks.
Like what?
Like green chili cookies. I haven't quite cracked the code on those yet.
Bummer. Was it a risk to open a bakery?
Definitely. But CNM gave me the skills to turn that passion into a reality.
That's amazing. At CNM, it's one college, infinite possibility.
Second half, just moments away here at the lab. Tyler Ortega, Heather Dyke on the call as defending league champion San Antonio FC having their way here with New Mexico United tonight. 3-0 as we have a look at our halftime stats here, Heather. And, you know, for New Mexico, dominating possession. But, you know, as you've said when you and I have done games before, you can have possession. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you do with it.
Yeah, and the big stat to me there is shots on target. When you say 4 shots on target out of 5, that is why San Antonio has 3 goals. They're clinical in what they do. And that's where New Mexico United is going to want some of those chances back. You have 3 shots, but you have 0 on frame. And if it's that low of a number, then you better be good with the ones that you have.
So for New Mexico, a 3-goal deficit that they're facing here in this second 45. So, Heather, if you're in these locker rooms at half for New Mexico United, what changes would you make if you're Eric Quill?
It's a gut check. I mean, it's a gut check. Nobody wants to be down 3-0, but you will be. I mean, that is soccer. You're going to be up 3-0 in games you didn't expect. You're going to be down 3-0 in games that you hoped you were going to go well. But it's a gut check. Like, who are your guys that you know in these moments are going to fight? And those are the guys that I want on the field for me. Like, I want them to go out and battle. I want them to go out and take chances. There's nothing to lose at this point. Go take chances. Go be yourselves and see if we can't fight our way back in. 1 goal at a time.
1 goal at a time is how they'll need to do it, and it looks like they're going to be bringing on some reinforcements as we look over at the technical area. It looks like Daniel Bruce, Kyle Colonna set to enter the match here for New Mexico. We'll get official word on that here momentarily. We're also going to see Justin Dillon, it looks like. Get these subs here. So we'll see Lamar Batista, Shannon Gomez, and Justin Dillon entering the match for San Antonio. Daniel Bruce and Kyle Colonna will be entering for New Mexico. We'll see who they replace as Jacobo Reyes is the first to come off, followed by Sam Hamilton. And then for San Antonio, looks like Tulu will be off. Jome will be off as well. didn't quite catch the third one, so we'll work on getting that there for you. All of those substitutions brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. So both clubs back out onto the pitch. A lot of changes. This second 45 could look very different than the 45 we just saw.
Yeah, and I think right now you're kind of looking at body language. Like, it's a billboard for who you are and what you want to do, and who's ready to go right now. Who's on their front set of studs? Who's ready to play for both teams? Is one team going to come complacent? Is one team going to attack? And that's the great part about the game, is it's just a chess match constantly.
Second half underway here at the Lab between New Mexico United and San Antonio FC. Here's Daniel Bruce, immediately the substitute, getting some touches. Rivas looking for Bruce, and the difference is immediate as Daniel Bruce able to get the first shot on frame for New Mexico 20 seconds into the second half.
You talk about people, and we said at halftime, you talk about people that you kind of want to go into the trenches with. It's Daniel Bruce. You know he's going to give you everything he has, and that was a perfect example in the first 20 seconds, chasing all the way across the field and getting a shot on frame.
Here's Hernandez. He was looking to find Bruce. That one cut out by Batista. Here's Justin Dillon. He scored here at the Lab last season. He was the lone goal scorer in a 1-0 victory for San Antonio FC. Hernandez goes down. Hernandez in pain. They play on as Batista just sends this one out, and Nicky Hernandez is requiring some attention. Didn't quite see what happened. We'll see if might be able to get another look on the replay. We did find out that Santiago Patino was the third substitute for Phoenix. So Tulu, Jome, and Patino all out. Didn't see a whole lot there on the TLC replay. Nicky still being looked at as the Director of Sports Medicine for the club, Carlos Olivas, in his first season with New Mexico United. You can see Hernandez kind of looks like it's an elbow maybe, as he's describing there to Olivas, but the thumbs up, that's always a good thing.
Thumbs up is a good sign. Yeah, he's ready to go. Everybody feels they can keep playing, and that's important tonight. I think you're seeing a good start to the second half for him.
So we've got a second. Let's tell you about the USL on ESPN. Copa Tejas takes center stage as playoff positioning heats up. Golden Boot leader Antani Oluwaseyi and San Antonio FC welcome Wilmer Cabrera and RGV FC with major playoff implications. It's San Antonio versus RGV next Wednesday, August 16th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Suggs, the veteran, able to track this one down. Moreno able to hold his run. Flag stays down. And so far, just 3 minutes in, it looks like New Mexico on the front foot so far.
It's a response you want. You don't want them to back down. You don't want them to be afraid to play, and you don't want to see anyone sulking, and you haven't seen any of that. They're getting forward early. They're pushing numbers forward, and you see some players putting in some outstanding individual effort. So it's a start you want. Now we got to get one on the frame.
Cross falls to Bruce. Falling away, Daniel Bruce sends this into the supporters section. Suggs winning the header there. Moreno. And now Hernandez trying to chase this one down and unable to get to it before it goes out. But as you're saying, that's what you want to see here from New Mexico.
You got to press, and they've changed the way they're playing a little bit. I mean, it's more of a 4-2-3-1, which allows them to defend centrally, but it also allows them to get forward quickly because they have equal numbers in that second line there. So if Brucey can keep connecting the play underneath them, positive things can happen. You're starting to see that. Now they just have to keep that final ball a little bit tighter. It's limiting San Antonio's ability to build out, though, and I think that was a problem in the first half.
Kick going back to New Mexico.
I think the question again for United is, where does your width come from? And is that going to come from your three kind of spreading out? Are you going to push your outside backs forward? And you're just seeing more movement from them right now. So hopefully they can kind of exploit some of those spaces.
Here's Bruce. Moreno has that taken off his feet by Tainter. Kyle Colonna, halftime sub for New Mexico. He replaced Sam Hamilton. He scored at San Antonio in the first fixture earlier this season. Moreno clears this one away. Scored the lone goal for New Mexico that night in what was a 2-1 victory for the home side. Zuhir and Garcia, the other two goal scorers for San Antonio. Hernandez finds Zuhir. Tambakis able to come over and grab that one. Here's Harry Swartz.
The one thing I will say, I mean, I think you bring in Daniel Bruce and you talk about players being busy. And he's just busy. He's going to cause problems. He's going to cause chaos. And that's apparent right from the beginning. And I think because of that, you're finding spaces underneath where players are starting to attack. So it's a question now of how long can you do it.
For somebody like Daniel Bruce, you know, and for Bruce, he spent the vast majority of his career here coming in as an impact sub. So it's a role that he's familiar with, although it hasn't necessarily been his role since Eric Quill took over. But you can see just, he said, the injection that he gives to this side.
Every player wants to play. Every player wants to play. And I think the way that you show you want to play is through your action. And it's something you just admire about Daniel Bruce. I mean, when he comes on the field, if it's 5 minutes or if it's 40, he's going to give you everything he has. And I think that's why he's so beloved by this community, is because he's just effort. And that's what New Mexico is. It's just kind of grindy, and people believe in hard work. And Daniel Bruce, I think, is the epitome of that, even though he's not quite officially one of us.
You know, I've been in a few away days where the traveling support have sung "He's one of our own" to Daniel Bruce. So I think he's for all intents and purposes a New Mexican at this point. This ball bouncing around the 18. Awashe unable to get a clean look at goal. But as you said, there he is again, just popping up. Daniel Bruce going 1-on-4, and Daniel Bruce goes down, does not win the free kick. He is furious.
But that's it. I mean, that's it. Like, he's not the strongest player. He's not the fastest player, but he's just going to make your life miserable. And I think his ability to use his body and keep his balance there, I mean, he creates something out of nothing.
Well, and the point I was going to make is that you look at his career here at New Mexico United, 109th league appearance tonight for Daniel Bruce. He's only scored 10 goals. So it's not like he's scoring 20, 30 goals every season, and that's why the fans here love him. As you said, they love him for the effort that he gives.
They love him for that. They love him for what he just did. They love him for drawing a foul and being upset that he didn't get it drawn. They love him for getting up and chasing someone back. And everyone loves that kind of player. I don't care what team what you coach or what team you play for. Like, you love players that are completely invested, and they show it through their action. And to me, that's Daniel Bruce. He shows it through his action on the field, off the field. He's just a special player.
Set piece here for San Antonio. It's Hernandez. And Hernandez, that was dangerous.
What a ball. Yeah, I mean, San Antonio set pieces. I'm going to go back and watch this game and take note. Like, they've just been very, very good, very dangerous every time they have a set piece in the final third. You see here, though, early, even in the setup for the goal kick, New Mexico United has his width. And all of a sudden now, San Antonio has to spread out, and you kind of have to hope that's going to cause some problems for them in the way they want to play. But you haven't seen that kind of width in New Mexico United in the first half, so hopefully they can find ways to exploit that space.
The 55th minute of this match is brought to you by We Are United in Health. Join New Mexico United in our efforts to create a healthier and more vibrant New Mexico at unitedinhealthnm.com. Yes, auto free kick here for San Antonio.
Kind of a professional foul there. I mean, I think Daniel Bruce sort of saw there's a transition potentially going to happen and just slides in a little bit late. I think he did that one on purpose.
You know, I think something that's interesting for this San Antonio club for having the big difference in goal differential that they do, being the highest scoring team in the league. They've only got 4 clean sheets on the season, which is the same as New Mexico.
Yeah, and, you know, honestly, in watching the game, I'm not super surprised by that. I think they're very, very committed to their attack, and they're going to push numbers forward, but they are open to transition. And I think when you do that, you're kind of willing to win games 4-3. You're willing to win games 5-4, and if it's working for you, who cares how many goals you give up? But even here, they're brazen in the way that they press.
Yeah, I think there was one time in the first half where Tambakis had a couple of his players on his flanks, and essentially there were 5 San Antonio players lined up atop the 18 ready to press.
Yeah, it's almost like they press in 2 systems. It's kind of the back players and then the front players. There's really no midfield. It's just, we're not going to let you play short, but if you play long, we're going to try and win the first ball, and then we're really going to battle for the second ball. And to me, it's the second ball that matters. Like, the first ball goes forward and everyone's challenging for it, but currently every second ball San Antonio is winning. So it's how do you get enough players into that gap and find a second ball and then get forward.
Hernandez and Zuhir. Zuhir will leave this one off for Hernandez this time. Header going back across goal. Still bouncing around here. Squares up Zuhir. He's on a brace. Has it taken off his feet. Already got a brace on a hat trick, excuse me. Going here for New Mexico. Swartz goes down, falls to Seymour. New Mexico continues the attack. Switch of play. Finds Sergio Rivas. Here's Moreno. Moreno has space to create. Was looking for Suggs on the through ball there.
A really committed run by Suggs too. I mean, it causes problems. If that ball gets through, like, he's in.
Here's Suggs. Finds Moreno. Rivas goes back to Suggs, and we're hearing that substitution coming up here for New Mexico.
I don't wonder if that one won't be tactical. Are you going to, potentially go 3 in the back, throw numbers forward, take some chances? They've been successful so far this half, and I think Coach Crow might take a chance tactically and kind of change what they're doing here a little bit.
Sounds like it might be a like-for-like change here with Santi Moar coming in to replace Harry Swartz. Hernandez goes back to Seymour. Portillo now. Portillo, really key that makes the lock turn here for New Mexico. 28 chances created for Justin Portillo this season. That leads the club. Foul drawn. This is a Fiesta Auto free kick. We'll see if New Mexico makes the substitution now or if they wait until after this set piece. Appears as though they'll wait as Justin Portillo set up over this one. As Portillo plays the cross and doesn't beat the first man there, as Maloney able to head that one away. Now we'll see the substitution as Santi Moar on to replace Harry Swartz. That substitution brought to you by REDW CPAs and advisors. There's no substitution for integrity. So let's see if there's a formation change of sorts, as Swartz usually plays on the right wing. Santi Moar is a left winger. Corner kick coming up here for New Mexico.
Daniel Bruce lighting up the crowd in front of him there, like he's into it. But when you see players play like that, you're inspired to do the same. I mean, I think energy is contagious.
Daniel Bruce, 3 goals on the USL Championship campaign, all of those coming since Eric Quill took over. There's Moore, his first action. Maybe a little too much on that for Portillo, as Portillo able to wrap his foot around it, get the cross in, takes a deflection, headers going, sent away, and dealt with by Zuhir.
The energy has changed this half. You can feel it. You can feel it. I mean, New Mexico United has come out with something to prove, and I think that's a huge credit to the coaching staff. And they're getting forward. They're pushing numbers in the box. They've had a couple chances, but you just feel it in the way that they're playing. I mean, there's a different energy.
As you were just alluding to, much wider now for New Mexico.
Yeah, I think they're making San Antonio kind of make a decision. Like, are we just going to play narrow? Are we just going to defend narrow? And all of a sudden now they have to open up, and it kills your moments of transition because you don't get to play in the system that you want to play in. And I think that's been, advantageous for New Mexico United so far.
Corona goes down. No foul. Falls to Zuhir, finds Dylan, and Justin Dylan skies this one over the post. Here's Portillo. Near side, it's Suggs. He's got Moar. Santi Moar. 2 goals, 2 assists this season for the Spaniard. New Mexico were certainly hoping for more from Santi Moar. 12 goals in 2019 in black and yellow for Santi. Spent the past 3 seasons in Phoenix playing for Rising, where he found the back of the net 20 times. This one falls to the Spaniard. Here's Moar. Still Moar. Santi Moar. And the flag is going to go up on Daniel Bruce, as he was in the offside position.
It's exactly what you want from Santi Moar coming into the game. Like, face up, take your 1v1, get a shot on frame. Just a little bit unfortunate there, but it's definitely an attacking-minded play, which we haven't seen quite as much from some of the other players.
Have a look on this TLC replay here, and that's sort of the trademark move for Santi Moar. Going down the left, cuts it back on his right, and looking to hit a curler into that far post.
He's such a good crosser of the ball, and he's so strong with his left foot that you have to respect it. And he reads very well when he can cut across and get shots on frame. But in this formation, when he's 1 against 1 out there, that's going to be open. And I think that opportunity might present itself again tonight.
65th minute here at the Lab. San Antonio on top of New Mexico, 3-0. There's Maloney able to get a cross in. That's Hernandez in possession now. A couple of step overs and runs into Will Seymour. Gomez called for the foul.
Really strong defending there by Will Seymour. Keeps his feet, no foul, doesn't give up a shot or a cross. It's difficult to do in a 1v1 situation.
Moreno finds Daniel Bruce. He's got support arriving in the form of Sergio Rivas. Play on, says the official. Hernandez drawing the foul there from Justin Portillo. So Fiesta Auto free kick. Again, a 3-0 lead. San Antonio not in any hurry.
One change is half you see every time Tambakis touches the ball. He's not going long. And he's trying to find that second seam in there to play balls early. And they found a lot of success with that because they're pulling San Antonio out of their comfort zone.
Hernandez loses possession inside the 18 and far. Unable to keep it in play. It's a Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico. You can see there's just a little pep in their step now.
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency. They're going to fight. They're a team that this home field and these fans, it matters to them. And you can see it in the way they're playing tonight. I'm not surprised by that at all.
Portillo, one headed away. Second ball comes in straight to Jordan Farr. And New Mexico, they could be in trouble here. Oluwaseyi making a run. He's got Hernandez in support. Oluwaseyi still, and Tambakis able to come out and grab it.
Really good defending by Josh Suggs there. I mean, you take away the central part of the field, you make him cut on his foot that he doesn't want to shoot on, and that's difficult to do in a 1v1 situation where somebody has a full speed at you.
And especially for somebody like Tani Oluwaseyi, a number of his goals this season have come in that exact same scenario.
Yeah, and to Farr's credit, like to receive that ball in a little bit of a crowd and then play a ball where has his best player running at the opposition goal unopposed. It's outstanding transition. Really, really good. Really, really good from San Antonio.
Looks like Mitchell Tainter is down and needing some assistance. 68th minute here at the Lab. Clean sheet still intact for the man in blue there, Jordan Farr. Looking to pick up his 5th clean sheet of this season. Tainter just being worked on here by the athletic trainer, and that's going to give us a little bit of time to tell you about SiriusXM. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access. Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. Heather, I'll tell you what, I don't think I'm going to be tuning in for very much English Premier League action this season.
I'm with you. I'm with you. We're going to have to be listening to a different team, I'm afraid.
70th minute coming up here. '70th minute of this match brought to you by REDW, an Albuquerque-based CPA firm celebrating 70 years of keeping New Mexico moving forward. There's Oluwaseyi Finds Zuhair. On a hat trick is Rita Zuhair. And Zuhair's shot blocked. He wants that third one, and can you blame him?
Outstanding defensive recovery from United in a transition moment there. It is. I mean, to your point, Tyler, like they're playing for that transition moment. They're just staying central. They're waiting for you to give it up, and they get forward quickly. And it's difficult to defend because if you are not precise and your rate of possession isn't high, they're going to make you pay.
That's what they've done all season long, and that's what they're doing again here tonight.
They defend in numbers. They're willing to give the weak side up. Like, it's just like a boa constrictor. They just tighten and tighten every pass you play.
Here's Moore. Going at Maloney. Throws it off for Suggs now. Back to Moore. Bruce, little give and go there with Rivas. Bruce goes down. All ball, said the official. Portillo finds Kalen Ryden, the Oklahoma native. Kalen Ryden making his 96th USL Championship appearance here for New Mexico United tonight. We're going to see a change here for San Antonio. It'll be PC on. He's going to replace Ja'Cory Hayes. Hayes was on a yellow card from back in the 26th minute. We'll see another midfield veteran enter the lineup here for San Antonio. Here's Suggs, the Las Cruces, New Mexico native.
You're starting to see San Antonio now when they are defending and there's established possession for New Mexico United. They have to drop into a true back five instead of playing their kind of two blocks of three. And I think that's because of the width, and it's making them uncomfortable in the way they defend. They're not quite as precise going forward.
New Mexico all-time have gotten the better of San Antonio FC. All-time record, 5 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. That does include postseason play. As San Antonio, with a win tonight, would even that up at 5 wins apiece to go along with 1 draw. Moreno fouled, and Batista goes into the book. 73rd minute yellow card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm. New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years.
You see players that, for New Mexico United, you normally consider very comfortable on the ball, having to play so quickly because San Antonio's pressure is immense. They're coming for you every time they touch the ball, and they're willing to run around you because they know the next player is coming, but they come quickly, and it rattles you. It rattles New Mexico United's possession.
Here's Oluwaseyi, left-footed strike, and that was rising the second it left his foot. And if you're New Mexico, Coach, how do you deal with that high press?
Yeah, you have to get numbers on the ball so that when you do receive the ball, you have clear options quickly. And I think that's a difficulty when you defend kind of with a front group and a back group, because if you don't have someone coming and you don't have someone sitting in the pocket, then it becomes difficult to play quickly. But they've been better at it this half. They're finding different seams in between the opponent. But I think they could do that quicker. And I still think there's kind of a dependency to go long early because it looks like it's there. But the more they kind of connect these short, sharp passes, the more successful they've been.
Ball played forward for Moreno. Flag stays down. Moreno double teamed. And eventually, it's a goal kick for Jordan Farr.
By your third touch, you have a second defender coming. And that's a huge credit to San Antonio because that is a lot of hard work.
And you can see just some of the body language from San Antonio players as they're walking back down, as we're going to see a couple of substitutions here for New Mexico. The Scotsman Greg Hurst, he's on. We're also going to see the birthday boy Austin Yearwood making an appearance here tonight, celebrating his 29th birthday. He'll replace Armando Moreno. It looks like Nicky and Moreno both go off.
Kyle Colonna on top. Did he move up?
And that is, yeah, you're right there,
Okay.
Coach. As Kyle Colonna has transitioned from the back line to the front line. Kyle Colonna, as we mentioned, scored his first New Mexico United goal at San Antonio on May 27th. Actually made the club as a trialist coming into this season. Former San Diego State Aztec, played 4 years there. He was a 2-year captain for the program. Anytime you can bring a captain in from a collegiate program into your organization, you know they're going to be a great fit.
Yeah, you gotta love it, and you have to think how cool that is to be at an open tryout and make a team and actually get minutes. I mean, that's special. It's a credit to the club and to the player.
9,740 fans on hand here tonight. Your attendance brought to you by New Mexico Mutual. Sorry about that, Coach. The New Mexico United faithful showing out as they always do here. As New Mexico routinely among the top teams when it comes to attendance here in the USL Championship.
Yeah, it looks like New Mexico United's kind of shifted into a 3-5-2 here. I mean, depending on if Suggs is just playing high or being more of a wing back right now, but it would appear that they're 3 in the back and they're trying to get some more numbers forward.
So here plays this one forward for Gomez. The offside flag is up as Olawashe tapped it home anyway. Ryden will send the free kick long. Foul called against New Mexico. San Antonio looking to pick up their 7th win on the road this season. This is a club that's really good away from home. They're really good at home, obviously. But to be picking up your 7th win away from home, what is a long season, not just that, but you look at the last 2 away matches they've had at Phoenix, at New Mexico, 2 very hostile environments to play.
Hostile environments, hot environments. You have the altitude to deal with in New Mexico. It's a difficult place to win, both of them. And it's a credit to the club, and especially to your point, Tyler, like they're playing this late in the season, they're still playing with that much energy. It's impressive.
Tell you what, I'd hate to be in those conditioning days. This one falls to Bruce. His shot attempt is blocked. There's somebody down in red, and we'll have a brief stoppage here.
I think that whole play stems from New Mexico United's defensive effort. And you have 2 players sprinting at a goalkeeper. Probably not what you want necessarily if you scripted it, but they're going with energy, and because of it, you see San Antonio kind of have to play under pressure and get the ball away.
We're going to have a look at what happened here. Suggs and Maloney didn't see a whole lot there on the replay, from that angle at least. And he had his back turned to us. It Suggs very well might have landed on him when he came down.
Yeah, difficult to see from where we are, but hopefully he's okay and he can pop up here and keep playing. He's been a stalwart for them tonight in the defense.
PC started last weekend at Phoenix, came off as a sub here tonight. Have a look here.
Yeah, hard to see from our angle.
So certainly hope that Connor Maloney is okay. Maloney, the 28-year-old, 19 appearances this season. He's been with San Antonio since 2020. Prior to that, spent a little bit of time with Columbus Crew in the MLS. Made 4 appearances for Pittsburgh Riverhounds as well, but the vast majority of his playing career has been here with San Antonio FC. He looks to be in some pain.
Yeah, he's having a hard time getting up on his feet. Hopefully he can kind of move around a little bit and feel okay here.
The New Mexico United faithful here tonight. Maloney walking very gingerly off the pitch. Again, just hope that everything's all right. So we're going to see a substitution, I believe. We will. There'll be Juan Azokad coming on, as he will replace the injured Connor Maloney. So Azokad, the midfielder, comes on. That substitution, of course, brought to you by REDW CPAs and Advisors. Kelowna challenging for the header, and down goes Garcia. Looks like Batista there asking for a card. And again, the trainer will be brought out here for San Antonio. And the thing is that he's not coming yet because he's still tending to Connor Maloney over at the technical area.
You start to wonder here the difference between gamesmanship and injury, and you don't ever want anyone to be hurt, but it's also, you know, there's no hurry to get up. There's no hurry to play quickly when you have a 3-goal lead.
See the captain, Mitchell Tainter, having a word with our official, Matthew Corrigan. Everybody having a word with Matthew Corrigan, and now a yellow card shown to Kyle Kelowna.
You have to think he said something that the referee didn't take kindly to. Hard to tell anything from here.
A yellow card brought to you by the guys at Ferguson Law Firm. So Kelowna into the book here, 83rd minute yellow. Matthew Corrigan not making very many friends in Albuquerque here this evening. And for what it's worth, I feel like Corrigan's been fairly consistent here this evening.
He's had a good match. I mean, I don't think there's anything egregious. He's kind of kept control in a chippy match with high stakes, and that's what you want. You kind of don't want to know the ref is even there. It's a sign of a good game.
Going here for San Antonio. So falls to Azokad. On Azokad, the Venezuelan, the 27-year-old, former Oakland Roots man. Tallied double-digit goals for Roots last year. 10 goals in 35 appearances. Netted 6 times for RGV in 2021. Looking to get off the mark here in 2023 for San Antonio. It looks like we're going to see another yellow card coming out. And it's a red card shown. A second yellow has been issued to Eric Quill, and he is being sent to the showers here in the 85th minute. And so Eric Quill will make the long walk back to the tunnel and to the locker room as he has been sent off.
Kind of impossible to see what happened from up here, but it's the long walk in front of the fan base, which is always an interesting walk.
Eric Quill, you can hear the applause as he walks by the supporters. It's play waiting to resume until Quill is off the pitch. And we'll get back underway now. So this has been an eventful match, to say the least.
And I think stakes are high, emotions are high, and you can see Coach Quill emotionally reacting to some things. It's hard to tell what happened from up here, if it was his staff or him, but either way, it'll be difficult to not have him in the next match, because I do think the guys are really depending on him and kind of trying to get a feel for him, and it'll be hard not to have him around.
Portillo's cross, or his corner, excuse me, dealt with. Goes back in, second ball, and Greg Hurst unable to redirect that on frame.
Yeah, great idea from United, good early ball, and you see they're actually stretching that back line now and trying to find balls that are in, that seam behind the back four, so good idea.
87th minute here. Defending league champions San Antonio. Pitching a clean sheet so far here in front of just under 10,000 fans at the Lab. There's Moar. Going to play this forward. Hit it to Suggs, who is double covered there. Gomez draws the foul. And Colonna's also got to be careful. He's already on a yellow as well.
He's come up top and he's matched the energy of Daniel Bruce. I mean, he's pressing hard. He's putting them under a little bit of pressure, and he's playing a little bit reckless, but a second yellow would not be good for him as well.
For New Mexico, Sam Hamilton was sent off against Orange County. Eric Quill here tonight. 2 red cards in their last 3 matches. And it's not like they're missing just anyone. You're talking about your captain of your club and also your head coach for the next match.
Yeah, losing players is difficult. And the funny part about that, well, not the funny, I suppose the ironic part about that is that it's not unusual for it to be your captain and your coach, because those guys tend to carry a lot of the emotion.
Bruce plays the cross in, back post, was looking for Suggs, and Farr able to grab that one.
It's just good to see New Mexico United throwing numbers forward. It's good to see them taking chances. They don't look like they're playing not to lose. They look like they're playing to win this half.
And unfortunately for them, San Antonio bagged 3 in the first half.
By this point in the season, if you have San Antonio's record, there's a reason. And they've showed it tonight. They've been quality all over the field. They've been relentless in their defensive pressure. They're individually fantastic, and their set pieces have just been spectacular.
And for San Antonio, you obviously want to peak at the right time. Still a couple of months left in this season. What do you do to keep your team rolling in this form as the season wears on. This postseason's still 2 months away.
I mean, I think winning is contagious, and when you get that rolling and you keep it rolling and you match that energy in the way that you train, and you know, clearly they have a coaching staff that's supporting them being individually brilliant and taking chances, and you can see that in the way the players play, and I think anytime players are a part of that, they want to be a part of that, and it'll spread. So this team, I think, is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they've got some special pieces.
90th minute here. Jordan Farr looking to bag his 5th clean sheet on the season. Here comes Yearwood. Able to connect with Santi Moore on the switch. Moore trying to get a cross in, and it's blocked by PC. Seven minutes of New Mexico Pinon coffee stoppage time. Great coffee is a matter of opinion.
Hurst has brought a little bit of composure since he's come in. I mean, he seems to be dealing with that pressure in the midfield and making some good decisions in there since he's been brought on.
Greg Hurst, 2 goals so far this season for New Mexico. Scored 7 times for Phoenix Rising last year. And Hurst, this is kind of become his role. It's a second half sub as that header from Rivas dealt with. Hurst was a 75th minute sub last weekend in Hartford. It's Rivas on the turn, and Rivas unleashes that one. So a tough run here for New Mexico, losing 3 on the bounce, and then a trip to Torero coming up to go take on San Diego Loyal.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier, but then after that, you get a chance to fight for a playoff spot at home. And I think this is the point in the season when it's easy to be a fan when everything's going well. It's easy to show up when everything's going well, but this is the time. Like, this is the time where as a fan base, New Mexico United needs to show up, help push these guys through, help find a win. And they're capable of doing it. I think everyone knows that, but it's you got to show the belief with your action and being here and supporting these guys.
We're here, and Hernandez going back and forth. There's Batista. Flag goes up on Dillon. Yeah, an important stretch coming up for New Mexico with home matches on August 23rd, 26th, the 30th, and then September 2nd. 4 home matches in a 10-day stretch. And that is really going to be a pivotal point in the season. And I think coming out of that one, you'll have more or less an idea of how this one's going to shape out.
Yeah, it can be the difference. It can be the difference, and especially the teams that they're playing. And that's the beautiful part about this game is that you're never quite out, you know. And I think these guys are capable of doing it, and there's still fight. You see it in them.
And that run of games that's coming up, it's Oakland Roots, who are ahead of you if you're New Mexico in the standings. Mm-hmm. You've also got FC Tulsa, who are playing very well. Philip Goodrum is on fire out there. Mm-hmm. And you've also got Las Vegas Lights, who have been putting it together as well recently, led by Preston Taborda-Taka, former New Mexico United player, reigning player of the week. And then to wrap things up on the 2nd, it's another big-time match for New Mexico, and so they just keep coming, one after another, after another, after another.
Yeah, and to be able to be in the hunt at home, it's what you want. It's what you want, especially after a season where I don't think anybody feels like they've done exactly what they wanted to do. But I think all season long, you know, they have it. And so hopefully something clicks and they go on a roll and you get 4 home wins and maybe even sneak one in San Diego and find your way into the playoffs. And when you're there, you never know what can happen.
Oluwaseyi gets a bounce, and he was looking for his 15th on the season, but a big-time save from Alex Tambakis keeps him scoreless here tonight.
Outstanding save from Tambakis coming off his line, getting big and making that save. That's a difficult save to make.
And that match that's coming up on September 2nd, the 4th out of 4 here at home for New Mexico against none other than Charleston Battery, who are second in the East right now. And so, again, as we were saying, it just keeps continuing to heat up. But that's what you want going into the playoff run, right? You're going to be going against those teams anyway.
You don't play soccer because you don't want to compete.
Right.
Like, you're not at this level because you're not competitive. And these guys are, and that's all you want. You want a chance to win it, and you want a chance to win it in front of your home fans, and they're going to have it. And I'm sure that this fan base is going to show up and push them forward. It's just what they do.
Hernandez taken out by Santi Moore atop the 18-yard box, and it's going to be a free kick here for San Antonio. And walking over to place the ball is Rita Zuhir. On a hat trick is the Canadian. Zuhir just 19 years old. 6 goals on the campaign so far for Rita Zuhir, 3 of those coming against New Mexico United.
Yeah, he's a player that John Herdman must have an eye on. I mean, the things that he's doing, the players he's looking for, and the way Zuhir is playing in his age, John Herdman must have his eye on him. He's an exciting player for Canada.
Zuhir has that shot attempt blocked by the wall. Bank of America corner kick coming up here for New Mexico into the 7th stoppage time minute here. San Antonio content to see some time off the clock here. This will be a free kick here for New Mexico. And Portillo. And we've got some extracurriculars going on here as immediately Oluwaseyi is pulled away, as I think Justin Portillo took exception to Hernandez putting on a juggling show there.
Yeah, understandably. Tensions are high. He wants to play quickly.
Hernandez, a little bit of gamesmanship, and the emotions, they run high in this game, Heather.
They do. They do. It's what makes it beautiful. And you know, you love seeing players care, and you also want them to have the kind of mental fortitude to get the ball down and play. Because now you think about how many minutes have we added? Another 3-4 minutes dealing with this, and I think sometimes the emotions get in the way of the reality of how much time you're actually wasting.
Portillo and Oluwaseyi both booked after that. Hernandez escapes the yellow card. Those yellow cards. Hernandez did not escape the yellow card. It looked like they just flashed it up on the scoreboard. So all of those yellow cards brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. As this may be it here, the last action of the evening.
When you think about the run and play this half, I mean, it would be great to see New Mexico United get one back. I think they deserve it. They've been on the front foot and probably deserve a goal.
So piece goes in. It's sent away by San Antonio, and that is the full-time whistle here at the Lab. 3-0 in favor of the defending champs as San Antonio FC comes in. They get things started off early here, Heather. 2nd-minute goal. They were up 3 by the time halftime came around. Give us your quick thoughts.
You knew they're a class team. You see it in the results. You see it in the results last year, and they showed it tonight. And I think you don't ever want to lose, but if you are going to lose, you want to lose to a team that's probably better than you. And tonight, San Antonio was.
That is Josh Suggs, our man of the match, brought to you by Pepsi. Second player in USL Championship history to hit the 20,000 minute mark. Been here with New Mexico since 2019. Play of the match and save of the match both go to Alex Tambakis for his 60th minute save. Play of the match brought to you by Bud Light. And our save of the match brought to you by Invigorate Roofing. But by and large, Heather, this one tonight, one to forget for New Mexico, as they've got to do that quickly. As we mentioned, big run of games coming up.
Yeah, a tough match, but I'd also credit them when you're down 3-0 and you go into the locker room and you come out and you fight. It tells you the team still has a belief to them, and that's what you want to see. If you come out and you give up, you get worried for the rest of the season, but they shouldn't be. They had a little bit of fight. They had a little bit of, willingness to battle with San Antonio, and I think you saw that in the second half, so you kind of hope they can take that from it.
We'll go ahead and step aside for just a moment. We'll be back on the other side of this to put a bow on.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
When you get proven quality at low fresh for everyone.
Full time here at the lab. Tonight's Duke City Cares final score, San Antonio FC 3, New Mexico United 0. Tyler Ortega here alongside Heather Dyke. And Heather, let's have a look at our full-time highlights and see exactly how this one played out. And San Antonio wasted no time here tonight. Rita Zuhir with this thunderbolt in the second minute to open up the score.
Not only did they waste no time, but they put a goal in the back of the net that it's just going to be hard to replicate all season. Outstanding goal.
Outstanding goal for the 19-year-old Canadian Rita Zuhir. As we get one more look at it, look at the angle as to which it enters the net. And then he followed it up just 27 minutes later from a set piece. Same exact corner of the goal. Tambakis didn't really have a chance.
Yeah, when you put a ball in the goal past Alex Tambakis, you know it's a great shot because he's such a good goalkeeper, and he didn't give it a touch on either one of them.
Rita Zuhir scored his 6th goal of the season here tonight. 3 of those coming against New Mexico. And then the 3rd goal in the 40th minute. It was Santiago Patino. Welcome back to SAFC. That was the 3rd goal of the night, and that was all they needed.
Yeah, you get equal with the back line. You want to put an early cross in, and great 2 runs in the blind side of the defenders, and a really strong finish. The only one in the run of play tonight.
And that was all San Antonio needed. 3-0 your final score. Let's have a look at our final stats before we say goodbye here tonight. And New Mexico with a 1 shot on target. That came 20 seconds into the second half by way of a fresh Daniel Bruce. Other than that, not much doing for Quill's men tonight.
No, they're going to want that one back. They're going to want to find ways to be a little bit more composed in the final third and create chances on frame, and they have the players to do it. So it's really just taking a deep breath and kind of restructuring how you want to find those finishes. But they have it. They have it. They just need to put it together.
Important stretch coming up for the black and yellow here over the next few weeks. They're on the road in San Diego next weekend before coming back for 4 home matches in 10 days. Make sure to grab your tickets off of SeatGeek for those if you haven't yet. That's going to do it for all of us here tonight. For everybody a part of our broadcast, for our director, Gary Williams, Heather Dyke, thank you for joining me on Color once again. Always a pleasure to have you here in the booth. And we'll be back here in just a couple of weeks. So that's all we've got. Thank you for watching.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.